Alright, just for you guys, because we didn't get to it in 6th hour, I'm actually going to do this one as well. So I would factor the numerator, so it would be x minus 4, x plus 1, over x. So nothing cancels, so no whole. I like to look at my denominator first, so I have a vertical asymptote at x equals 0. I have a horizontal asymptote. Actually, it's not horizontal this time, it's slant, because this will go into that. So I will divide, and actually this was the fun little trick that Sarah in 3rd hour noticed and Bryce in 6th hour noticed, that if it's just x on the bottom, when we divide, we always just get these numbers here, 1x left, so 1x minus 3 will be my slanted asymptote. My x-intercept comes from my numerator, so we actually have 2 x-intercepts, so that's super nice. My y-intercept comes from the constant on top divided by the constant on bottom, which the constant on bottom is 0, so I'm not going to have one of those because you can't divide by 0. So when I go to graph this, I'm going to graph my slanted asymptote as a line. So at -3 is where I'm going to start on the y-axis, and then I'll go up 1 over 1 a few times to get my slanted asymptote. I also have a vertical asymptote at x equals 0, so just my y-axis. So this is the one where, again, I kind of have like 2 quadrants, but almost like one got tipsy or we got like an X sort of thing going on. And if you remember from the past that we did the other day, we kind of had 2 parabola looking things here. But then in 3rd hour, we did one where we had some things here. So as I start plotting some points now, we're going to maybe see where those things show up. Also, it makes sense that I do not have a y-intercept because I can't touch the y-axis, and there isn't the double asymptote thing going on so that I can break that rule. And then we have x-intercepts, so I can plot those. One of them is at 4, one of them is at -1. And so maybe if you feel good about following the asymptotes out here, you can see that we're going to get these long stretchy x's, like here and here. But we could always plug in points, like we could plug in 2, we could plug in 1, we could plug in -2, but I feel pretty confident that this will look like that, this will look like that. Follow our asymptote here and there. Super cute, stretchy x. Okay, this next one, I would factor the numerator. So I have a 2 in common. We got 2x plus 1 left over 2x minus 1. So close, but no whole. So nah. We will have a vertical asymptote at half, because whatever makes the bottom 0. I will have a horizontal asymptote. Here I can divide and they completely cancel. So this is when we do leading coefficient divided by leading coefficient. So 4 over 2, so 2. My y-intercept happens when I divide my constants, so my y-intercept is -2. And my x-intercept is what makes the numerator 0, so I'm going to look at it in factored form, and I can see that it'll be -1/2. So when I go to graph this, I'm going to plot my vertical asymptote at half. Super weird. My horizontal asymptote at 2. So again, kind of like the AHK thing, I get my 4 quadrants where it's been shifted. We have a y-intercept at -2 and an x-intercept at -1/2. So I kind of feel like I'm going to see a hyperbola branch down here and probably one across, but maybe just to play it safe, like let's pick some x values and plug them in. So if I were to plug in, I could do 1. I could also do like -2 to see if it is continuing to go up. But let's start with 1 and just see where that ends up. So if I plug in 1, we have 4x plus 2 over 2x minus 1. And so my numerator would be 6. Denominator would be 1. So 1, 6 up here. So it is up here, kind of like I guessed. And I could plug in 2, and so I'd get 10 over 3. So that's like 3 1/3. So yeah, it's totally following out these asymptotes like I expected. So you're getting this branch right here. And if I want to just see, like, and plug in a -2 to see that this is continuing to go up, I'd have -8 plus 2, so -6, over -5, so that's +1 and a little extra. So yeah, totally cute. Love it. Okay, I'll even do one more with you because I got time. I got nothing to do. Let's do another one. These are so fun. If I look at this example here, this is just an AHK one, and I can tell because there's only one X or no other X's. So I'm just going to do AHK stuff. So A is 1. H is my vertical asymptote at -2, and K is my horizontal asymptote, which is 0, because there's nothing out there. So I'd plot my vertical asymptote at -2, horizontal at 0. My slope is 1, so you go up 1 over 1, and we get a branch here, get a branch there. I could do this last one too, because might as well. Like, I'd factor the top, so I can take a 4 out. I got x minus 3 over x minus 1. So still no hole. Vertical asymptote though, I got one at x equals 1. My horizontal asymptote, again, if I look at the degree, these would cancel out, so I'm going to have 4 over 1, so 4. My x-intercept is from the numerator, so 3. My y-intercept are my constants, so 12. Holy moly, can't fit that. And maybe I'm going to have to plug in more points. We'll kind of see. So vertical asymptote is at 1. Horizontal is at 4. X-intercept is at 3. Oh, I just thought wrong, I think. Because I just expected like here and here, because it was positive, but they're totally probably going to be here and here, right? Because my y-intercept is 12, which is like on this side of it. And so like I could plug in 2, and I bet you're going to get a real small number, like probably a negative number. So if I plug in 2, I'm going to have 8 minus 12, so -4, over 1. -4, that's right. And so I can graph that. It's going to follow your asymptote up this way. Like I could plug in 6 and see, but I just feel like I know. And like here, this one starts way up here because it's like the y-intercept is 12, but then it's going to come down real quick and like zoom down here. So, oh my word, super cute. Hopefully the graphing goes okay. Good luck, guys.